Hello, welcome to the Geekatorium Podcast on Monday the 16th of March as we record this. It's been a time, but Starfleet Academy is finally at an end, and in this episode we are going to be discussing it. We're going to talk about what we liked, maybe what we didn't like, and maybe touch on some of the things that happened off screen as well. There's also been a new series of a show that we both love, which has been proven to be exactly what we needed at this time. We're also going to be talking about the news of Firefly coming back, and I have been playing a game that got very ripped to shreds, and we're going to discuss why and if it was deserved. We're going to be talking about Star Wars Outlaws. All of that is coming up, so stick around. Welcome to the Geekatorium Podcast. So I've realized that I told you before we started this stream that I've done like a big software update, right? And like there's a new software that I've done. So Elgato, for those who are like streamers and YouTubers and whatever, Elgato have like updated Wavelink, and it's much better. But I've realized that I have not changed a lot of my stuff. And one of the things that I used to have was that my mic should be muted during the intro. And I realized, it's not been. Let's stay quiet. Usually I'm swearing and cursing and talking.
Hold those farts in, buddy. Hold them in. Hold them in.
How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm a bit tired.
Yeah?
I'm a bit groggy. I watched the Oscars last night.
Oh, did you?
Stayed up. I do it every year. Though this year it didn't end at the usual like 4-5 a.m.
Okay.
It overran.
Yep.
By 6 minutes.
Oh.
It ended at 2:30 or 2:36.
So
they seem to be starting it earlier because I remember it used to start at 1 a.m. here. It started at 11.
Okay.
And went on till 2:30.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not as bad as it used to be.
I should have stayed up and watched it now.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, then we could have live watched it.
Oh,
Why
didn't we do that next year? But that also involves us having to watch every movie in advance to actually discuss it.
I watched two. I watched two of them.
I will say that because, like, obviously, we spoke about it on a previous episode. I'm very glad to hear that K-pop Demon Hunters won Best Animated,
and Best Song.
Which I mean, like,
and they did a performance.
I feel vindicated because, like, it is genuinely a great film. So, like,
I've been sort of toying with watching it. I don't have anything really against it. The one thing that is like every day, I'm almost like haunted by K-pop Demon Hunters because I go past the there's both the Seoul or Seoul.
Okay.
Seoul Plaza. And another one called Asayu, like Asian supermarket, basically.
Yeah.
Both of them, like I walk past two every day. They're right next to each other. I don't know if they're like competing or if they're actually in cahoots with each other, but both of them have huge vinyl stickers of the K-pop Demon Hunters on. So I'm like, they're staring at me every day going, watch us. Watch us and buy our noodles. Watch us.
I love it.
So I am going to be convinced at some point.
You should. I reckon you should. Just don't be like. Did you hear about like the Belfast mums who went crazy about K-pop Demon Hunters? Did you hear about this?
Is this like the 80s sort of like? Oh, it's actually encouraging.
No.
demons?
It was even better than that. So like basically, there was a K-pop tribute concert that went on in Belfast, right? And they're touring the country, and the whole thing is it's not a K-pop Demon Hunters thing. It is a K-pop concert because K-pop is a genre. It's a genre of music. So they're like, we're going to be doing, and so it's a tribute act thing. So they're doing things like by BTS and all these other sort of K-pop bands, and they say that they do a couple of Demon Hunter songs because obviously it's in the meta, it's really popular and stuff like that. So, however, a bunch of Belfast mums assumed that it was a purely K-pop Demon Hunter thing and took all their kids along and like got absolutely furious when it was like all K-pop and stuff like that. And the best part was there was this one mum who just sort of doubled down and she was like, I know what K-pop is. Stop telling me it's Shudder. I know what K-pop is. It's the Demon Hunters. Like, oh
God.
Oh, why you? No.
Do you know what that reminds me of?
Go on.
It reminds me of it was like a funny news thing where a woman took her 3-year-old to the zoo and they went to see the zebras.
Yep.
And one of them had a huge erection. So the mother left a 1-star Google review.
That's brilliant.
Saying why can't your like zookeepers keep these animals like in check or keep them away so I don't have to explain this to my 3-year-old daughter who's saying what's that and all of this, and then the reply from the zoo just saying like we do our best to make this a family place and somewhere that people of all ages can enjoy the animals.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, our abilities are limited when it comes to the amorous intentions of a 500-pound animal. And also the woman had said, I'm taking this to my Facebook mums group. And then at the end of the reply, it was just like, I really fear for your Facebook group. My thoughts are with them at this time.
That's just phenomenal. Just so phenomenal.
It's different from K-pop.
As
direction, but I don't know why, but my mind just made that connection.
I appreciate you making that connection. I appreciate you doing that. Thank you. So, shall we get into it? Shall we talk about the endings of endings?
Starfleet Academy, as a series, I'd give it an 80%.
Okay.
I'd give it an 80%.
Okay. Well, actually, in the spirit of being like an academy, we have to give it a grade. 80% is not good enough. Let's give it a grade. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking a B++ or an A-.
Yeah, I did I'd give it a solid B+ myself as well. I will say I think it's go on. You were going.
Oh no, it's all I say is like the biggest saving grace of the show is Paul Giamatti. He was stupendous as a villain. Everything about his arc made sense and all of that. We'll get into the whole minds around Federation space because I have some thoughts on that. But in terms of the plan worked, the plan made sense, his intentions and like all of it made sense. It came together in a nice way, though maybe a tad rushed over the 10 episodes. I think Star Trek does need longer series to be Star Trek, if it's to be Star Trek.
Okay.
But I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went B+ for my grade. I think I'm going to, and I've said this before during its run, and I'm going to stand on my laurels here, on my hill here, whatever you want to say, my soapbox, and double down on what I said. I genuinely think this actually might be one of the best first seasons of a Star Trek series.
Yeah, I'd actually say that. No, Lower Decks.
No, as I said, one of, not the best. One of the best. It's far above TNG. It's above Voyager, I would argue. Which Voyager was pretty decent, but Voyager it was still above. Voyager was
Up there with Strange New Worlds.
yeah, Strange New Worlds really came out the gates, fast. Came out. It was great. So I'd say it's one of the best first seasons, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's interesting. You pull up Paul Giamatti pulling it all up. I actually think he was fantastic. I think he's one of the best Star Trek villains we've ever had. I think he's up there with Khan as far as I'm concerned. He's phenomenal. I don't think it was just him though. I think he worked well because of the chemistry he had with Holly Hunter.
Yes. Oh yeah, no, and she's wonderful as well.
She was brilliant.
She's absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
She made both. She made both a great captain and a great chancellor. And I want to sort of separate those two things out because if you look at some of the discourse online, I think people miss a point. Like, and we'll get into that in a second. I actually do want to say I think the general cast, the kids, were actually really good, and I think Karis Brooks, especially as Sam, was phenomenal. It's we haven't spoken for like 3 episodes, and
we didn't really go into the Doctor episode.
And I went from she's kind of annoying me to now thinking she is like literally. I can see what they did with her. And I can see why she was the way she did, and what they did with her character from the Doctor episode moving forward just blew me away. And she blew me away, like how the way that she changed her character and approach and everything was just like, no, that's brilliant. So I think like all round, I think it was really good. I still think there are issues. I don't think it's perfect, but then again, no Trek series is perfect. As much as we like to think it is, there's no perfect Trek, and of course it has problems and things that I would like to see better. But one of the things that I think overall that I liked about this is I think it handled the overarching story but episodic nature better than the likes of Discovery did. It didn't feel like I've gone back and I've watched Discovery, and it's hard to watch an episode of Discovery by itself because it's so linked into what came before it and what came before it. You have to watch something. It's very hard to drop into one
series arc. It is a series arc. Yeah.
This one had a series arc, but it had several series arcs. And it had, but I guess what it had was character development, and that's the thing. And it's you had lots of episodes in there that I can go back. I know that I can go back and I can watch the Deep Space Nine episodes, these series exclamation mill episode. I could watch that by itself. I could watch 300th Night by itself. I could watch, well, it'd be a 2-parter really, but I could watch it. I could watch it by itself. I could watch Kozan. I wouldn't choose to, but I could watch Kozan by itself. So like the thing is, I think it did a really good job of bringing back that episodic nature, but having that overarching stories. And I mean, the overarching story for this was Paul Giamatti. It was and it wasn't
family with Caleb,
and Caleb,
mom, and all of that. It all came together. I thought they were going to kill the mum off. I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's just TV series for you. Oh, they've reunited. One of them's going to die. Like that's usually the way it goes.
You see, it's interesting. The theory I came across and I quite liked was that she would turn out to be the big bad. She was the boss of Nusbraka. And I was like,
think that they were going to be in cahoots at one point.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And I thought I thought that would have been fun. But I actually think that I've said this in my my own review video of the series finale. Even though I was attracted to that idea, I think what they did in the end was better. Like it was so much better. I think it was smarter. And I think either killing her or having her be the boss of Nusbraka or on Nusbraka's side completely would have actually been the easy option. Like, because that's what everyone would expect. Whereas this one, it was like, no. We are going to use Caleb and everything that he's learned to actually change her mind. We're gonna lead her down this path where it's clear what's happening. Noose is using her anger, her sense of vengeance to get what he wants, which is legitimacy for his movement. He's going to use her to get what he wants. But it's then using Caleb to come in and be like, no, we've got to stop being angry. We've got to stop being angry because there is a better way of doing things, which is so Star Trek. It's so Star Trek. And
the fact that I loved the concept of her like putting Starfleet on trial, the Federation on trial.
It's great.
And just speaking about flaws of the Federation, because I've heard the comparison many times where people talk about the Federation is basically the EU in space. Yes, the Federation is like, it's not perfect. And the idea of like, well, you have to abide by our laws if you want to be a member, or you've got to do this, you've got to change this about your society if you're going to be, and I totally sort of get that. So to actually sort of acknowledge those flaws as well, but also be like, look, the fact that she was like, yeah, no, I disagreed with it, so I quit. And then if I'm coming back, I'm going to be teaching people a new way, not the way that it used to be.
Yeah.
Like
I
and all of this. So yeah.
And that's the thing is like, I think it like took the it was another sort of great courtroom episode. Like, that's the key thing. You had 2 episodes going on. We had like the courtroom episode, which is like, it's in such the tradition of Trek. Like, some of the best Star Trek episodes are when people are talking about and trying to use words to justify and defend their position. Think of like Measure of a Man or The Drumhead. Think episodes like that are just go down in history as like great episodes. And I think this one did it really well. I mean, even like in Star Trek Academy, this is the second time they've done it. The Jaden and the debate episode.
The debate,
they've done it twice now, and I think it's worked.
Well, you could argue it was another time when they were sort of talking to the Beta Z, the Beta Zoid people.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a debate thing as well. Should we rejoin the Federation, etc., etc.
100%. So I know I really liked it, but I think like, that was great. That bit, that whole sequence, loved it. And Tatiana Maslany, she's just phenomenal as always.
Didn't age in the last 15 years apparently.
What? Like, genuinely, I think
they could have given her a bit more makeup to look a little older. She almost looks younger than the beginning of the series.
Next season, what they need to do, hear me out, next season, because she's still alive, and obviously, she needs to be in a transporter accident that creates clones of her. Hear me out. I mean, she's done it before. Like, Orphan Black, it'd be great. It'd be great.
Or a transporter accident, and then she comes out and she's green.
Yeah, there you go.
She's Orion now.
Yeah.
She's Orion now. That's it.
Love it.
No, that's the reveal, is that her face gets smudged and it turns out she's wearing pink makeup over green. She was Orion the whole time. Caleb Meir is half Orion, which will explain his height and physique.
Oh my God. There's the end sequence where they're walking through the foyer and it's like is him and Ake.
Holly Hunter.
And you're just like, that is a hell of a size difference. Like,
he's 2 of her. He's 2 of her.
Yeah. But no, it's insane. The other, I mean, that's one part of the episode. And I think I'm on board with you where it was brilliant. I thought it was really well done. But the other side of it was obviously the cadets in the saucer section. We had the Doctor merging with the Athena to use his holographic matrix to fool the Vanal, which I thought was very cool. I thought it was very cool. It was very cool. I thought it was
the way it came with the title as well, because they didn't do the long title sequence. They just did that, which I was like, okay, why don't we just do that in every episode?
Yeah,
because the 20-minute long intro is not very good. It's not a memorable theme.
Yeah, they need to improve that theme. It's
scrap it. Just do that intro every time.
Yeah,
Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, beautiful.
Yeah. Listen. I would rather they bring back Fate of the Heart and did that at the beginning.
I'm all for it. I'm happy to record it myself.
Yeah. But yeah, but then we had that the cadets, Jet Reno, and the Doctor on the saucer section, and I loved it. I loved it because there's things that I loved in there. First of all, it's the cadets finally being a crew, like finally being a bridge crew. We had Genesis stepping in as captain, being given the con when Caleb is an engineer. That's what he's going to be. He's going to work the problem. He's an engineer. We had the Darren. Clearly, he's like Tom Paris. He's like Ortegas. He's got that arrogance.
He's first officer sort of material. He's young Will Riker.
Well,
a little bit.
I think I think what Jet said in the thing, he's a pilot. He's got that cockiness that he's going to be a pilot. That's what I think he's going to be first. But then we also had like Sam and Tarima sort of ops and stuff like that. Jaden doing the medical. So like you see them all stepping into their roles as they would be in a bridge crew, or if they were stepping into their roles past the academy. And I thought that was really, really well done. That they worked a problem and they came up with a solution, but it was the fact that Jet Reno, oh my God, she was phenomenal in this episode.
She was everything. Like she was the perfect mentor.
Yep.
She took no shit.
It was brilliant.
But had heart when needed to have heart and say all the right,
Yeah.
I mean, cheesy as hell when it goes, oh, everything's where it's supposed to be. And she's like, oh, would you look at that? And I'm just like, oh, that was Star Trek, but very cheesy.
Yeah.
A little much. I loved Show Me Pretty Trails of Light.
Yep. Though I am gonna say that I think they've overdone the captain's orders thing, like the engage thing. I think it's overdone.
I've seen this argument. I saw it on Threads, and it's like engage is just the command. Why does it? It's just like, well, it's a TV show.
No, I know, but have catchphrases.
They can't all say engage.
But it's like when you have you end up with the awkward Spock thing going like make things go now, and it's like,
well, that was hilarious.
Yeah, but
I love that.
I
would love the ship to go now.
But I did like Genesis going, wait, I have to pee. Like, because I thought that was...
I like that.
Yeah, I like that because it was basically sending it up, going like, no, this is ridiculous. Like,
Is this the first time that Star Trek has ever referenced the idea that someone needs to go to the toilet?
No. First Contact, I had to take a leak. I'm not detecting a leak. Yeah.
But that was Zephram Cochrane, though. It wasn't like one of the
because even Geordie was confused by it.
Yeah, it was just like, what? Like, I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
I can't see a leak.
Yeah. So no, but I loved that coming together. But I thought Jet Reno was like absolutely phenomenal in that section, and just really, really good. And I love that there were really nice character moments, such as like Sam and Genesis sort of making up, sort of understanding that their friendship has changed because of that. Sam has changed, but then Sam realizing that actually nothing's changed because they are still friends. I love that. But then that was because what I loved, and this felt very Trek as well, is that moment led to a realization from another character where it was like, hang on a second, you spoke to each other in gibberish. He's speaking to us. Like, it's like, it felt very much like I've seen this in other episodes before where they have a character moment that suddenly leads to the answer to something bigger,
I will say that despite the fact that there's been some dark moments in this show, there has been some dark moments. It's not been as gory as, say, the first series of Discovery.
No.
But it's had its dark moments. But overall, that the final episode really solidified. I was like, yeah, this is a show for the 13 to 17-year-old like demographic.
I think a bit older. Yeah.
Yes and no. I feel it's a little bit too cheesy and too on the nose to be for older. I feel like it came across for much younger people at times, and that's not a criticism, because it's the thing that we've discussed before, is that Star Trek needs to bring in new younger fans, because they're not pleasing older fans, and the older fans within the next 10 to 20 years are going to start dying.
Just stop talking about us, dude.
But you know what I mean? Like, it totally makes sense. So yes, we need to do that. But I still enjoy it. I can still enjoy it. It's just like I can sit down and watch a film like Inside Out or a film like The Wild Robot or something like that.
K-pop Demon Hunters, like whatever.
Demon Hunters, you
Yeah.
know. But, you know, we're not the target audience for those films. We like them, but we're not the target audience. And that's what I feel like Star Trek Starfleet Academy is.
Yeah. And I guess that sort of brings us on to sort of the next point. I think overall then we both enjoyed it. There's stuff that could be improved on, but we both what are the things that could be improved? What do you think?
Acting lessons.
I think that only goes for one person in particular. There's
two people for me.
There's one character that when she was first introduced, I thought she was going to be a one-off, and I was fine with it. And then she was a series regular, and I was like, okay, let's see where this goes. And as Tarima just really dragged on me in the end. Like, I think she played. I started calling her Manic Pixie Betazoid Girl.
Yes. So I've just realized there's something that we haven't mentioned on this episode of the podcast.
Go on.
Is that in the time between that we last recorded an episode, me and Rick actually met up.
Oh, yeah. We met in real life.
We met up in person for the first time in years.
Yeah.
And we did actually have a conversation. That's when you brought up the Manic Pixie Betazoid Girl.
Yeah.
Because we just watched the episode where she got really drunk. And it was one of the worst performances of a drunk person I've ever seen.
It was so bad. It was so bad. Like, yeah. She's not great. She's not great.
People don't shout with a breathy voice. That's not shouting. That's just loud whispering.
Yeah.
That's what that is.
I feel like, and also I just feel like she doesn't have, I don't buy into the relationship with Caleb. I actually think Caleb would be better with Genesis.
Oh God, yeah. I'm sad that hasn't actually gone in that direction, because they definitely have better chemistry, so much better chemistry.
Yeah.
And Genesis is hotter. If I'm gonna go there, I'm gonna go there. But
dude, you're in your 40s.
I'm not saying I've got a shot. I'm just.
Oh my God, this is so bad. No.
What?
Stop.
No, in all seriousness, though, she was it Tarima? Caleb's
Tarima.
The only one's name I actually remember now. He's great. She is dreadful. They're all really good. I don't like the Klingon.
Really? You don't like Jaden?
I don't like his performance. I really don't. It feels pantomime to me. Huh. Everything sounds too forced to me.
Okay.
Like,
well,
none of it comes out natural. It's all somehow a performance every single, and that's, Worf occasionally would speak like that, but not day to day with every sentence. And I feel like that's what he does every time he speaks. It's like he's doing some sort of proclamation.
Yeah, I didn't feel that. I enjoyed it, and I thought he was a great character, but I didn't mind the performance from Jaden. I thought it was okay. So that's interesting.
Yeah, so those are the two. Those are the two that I would change something on.
Yeah, Tarima. I just really did my head in by the end of it, and look, granted. Great sequence at the end to help, using her super psychic powers to help find things. Very cool.
Yeah, no, the story elements around her is no problem.
It's just the performance.
The story elements around her are no problem. It's purely the performance.
Yeah, 100%. I'm 100% with you on that one. So, yeah, there needs to be an improvement there. Anything else? Any other sort of? You mentioned the mines. Let's talk about the mines.
Oh. How many mines would you have to set up for an entire section of space in that you cannot go down and up? Like, space is 3D.
Well, I think
it's not a wall. You can go under the wall.
I know, but I don't think it was a wall. I think they
Or
had set up.
over the wall.
I think they
Like,
had. I think they had set it up to be a bubble. Like I think it had been set up to be a bubble.
but that's a huge section of space.
Absolutely, absolutely is. Yes, you're right. You're right.
To get to that and to be able to set that up. I know that things maybe travel faster, but they don't all have the access to the mycelial network.
Okay.
So how
okay.
are they setting up around the entire Federation? I find that a bit much.
I'm gonna okay. Like I have my thoughts, which I'm gonna put to one side for a second, and I'm gonna be devil's advocate on here. Okay. Here are things that we know. First of all, we know that self-replicating minds are canon, thanks to Deep Space Nine.
That's true.
So we know that. We know that. What we also know is that this entire season takes place over a year. So it's 10 episodes over a year, okay? Because it's a school year. The Miyazaki incident happens sort of about the halfway point of the year. So early half of the year. So there's actually a probably 6 to 8 month gap where he has stolen the Omega 47. He's probably pre-crafted these minds or has them self-replicating. We've seen how many Venari Ral ships are around and that they are a big force. They're not just a ragtag team of Ravagers. They are like system-wide. They are huge. They're it's probably almost as like, and especially with the fact that he's been reaching out to these other coalitions, these other federations, these other groups, there is a chance that they are already surrounding the Federation. So all they have to do is just deploy them at the border at, say, sections and be like, here, send over. Anyway, so we know that for a fact. Also, the Federation is a lot smaller than it's ever been. The Federation back in the day, back in the sort of TNG, DS9 times, was essentially an entire quadrant, like, almost an entire quadrant. Now it is down to how many member planets now? It's gone from being 300 odd member planets to like 20 or something like that. So it's
I can't remember the exact number,
but it's gone down to a very few. So it's a smaller area of space. They are probably already surrounded. The timeline is huge for when it's actually happened. So there is, I think, especially with like, say, self-replicating minds and blah, 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 it's not outside the realms of possibility that it's done. That being said, I've said this in my finale, again, in my finale review, it could have been done smaller and still had the same story. So you didn't. He could have stolen the Omega 47. That's fine. Let's say they do that. Yeah, he could have threatened Beta Z. He could have threatened Starfleet headquarters. I would say probably Beta Z would be the better one to sort of do because it's just been given the Federation headquarters. It's it'd be full of like civilians.
It'd been set up at the beginning of the series.
Yeah.
So yeah,
he could have used the Omega 47 to just do that, and we know that the devastation would have wiped out Beta Z and probably the surrounding area and blah blah blah, and also know that at that point all of Starfleet was around Beta Z because it was like the end of the year, blah blah blah. So he could have done that. The Athena could have still been cut off from the Federation because the storyline of the rescue still could have happened. The Athena could have still jetted off to go save the cadets. And we know from the opening episode that the Venari Ral have the programmable matter to actually disable the Athena. That could have still happened. Like they could have saucer sectioned away, but left the rest of the ship still there. They could have taken enough damage to not be able to get back to the Federation and be on the hunt because they're in enemy territory. Then they find out that this plan is going ahead where it's like there's a mine hidden on Beta Z or whatever. They could have still had the rest of the story could have still happened, but you could have still had the cadets work out how to stabilize the 47, the Omega 47, find out a way to get that signal to Beta Z in time so that they could, like it could have still all worked. And it's just a shame. I think like they've fallen. It's only the first season, and they've already fallen into that serialization trap where the finale has to be huge and world ending. Because like that was the whole thing. Is like he was able to destroy the entire Federation at a flick of a button, like,
Yeah.
and they've already gone there. So now where do they go for the next one? Now they're going to have to go even higher and even higher. And like traditional Trek, like don't get me wrong, old Trek did have that. Like best of both worlds was going to be the end of the Federation because of the Borg. You had that, but equally you had season finales where like Equinox, where it was like Captain Janeway versus another captain, another Federation captain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you had seasons finales that were huge in stakes, but were very sort of isolated stories as well. And I feel like they could have done that. They just went. I think they went too big, too quickly. If that makes sense.
It's an issue that I found with a lot of Doctor Who, like around the sort of like Matt Smith era, where every series ended with like some sort of reality and time continuum is going to erase all of everything, everywhere, and all of that. It did get a bit too ridiculous, and I totally get that. If it is something like a very specific planet, so if it was like Vulcan / Navarre, or Beta Z, or even Ferenginar or something like that, you could that's something that's in the future. Sure, that one of those planets is at stake or whatever. It's not. It's just the practicality of it that was winding me up, because I know what you said, that you sort of thought it was a bubble, but the way it was on the map on the screen was like lots of bubbles around Federation space, not like one big bubble. It was like lots of mines all around the edge of space. But I was like, can you not just go down and up? Like,
no, but I say I reckon there will have been stuff. I think the whole point is that they enclosed it, so there would have been stuff up, and it's like looking at a cross section. It's like looking at a floor plan in a skyscraper.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Yeah. They looked at a cross section. There's a floor above and a floor below, but you're looking at this one cross section. I think that's what the map was doing. But again, it shouldn't take me having to say that to make it make sense. Like that. And I think again, like it's that. I think it's one of the problems, and it's not just Star Trek that suffers from this problem. It is like a lot of modern day television suffers from this problem, where it's got to be big world-ending stakes at the end of the season, and then they have to top it in the next season, and then the next season, and then you end up with the 10C. Like it goes ridiculous. And don't get me wrong, 10C, great concept, but again, just too big.
Too big. Especially as well, they're cadets. These aren't the people that are on the front lines of all things that are causing danger to the galaxy. They're cadets. Like it shouldn't be the cadets of the first year of a 120-year gap of an academy on Earth. And it's like they're the ones that are always going to save the day. Sure, if it's the Enterprise, that's the flagship of the Federation fleet. Deep Space Nine, everything that happens is to do with that wormhole. So that makes sense because they're at that wormhole. That's all fine. But if it's always cadets, it's like the thing with the Cerritos, because the Cerritos actually wasn't in Lower Decks the thing that did it. Some of the times the humor in it was, oh no, someone else solved that problem. Now we're just going to go back and catalog a nebula. That's it.
You're absolutely. I agree. We can't. It's just the Enterprise didn't have galaxy-ending stuff all the time. Like it was literally this is affecting this sector or this one planet or this one.
It's merely the crew that's at stake every episode. It's the crew. It's the crew and the ship, and that's what it's all about. It doesn't have to be. All you need to do is make people fall in love with the characters in your cast, and then put them in danger, and then show how they get out of that.
I think
really what it's all about.
I think that's what they did very well over just 10 episodes. And I think that's my other criticism, which we'll get to in a second. I actually do think over 10 episodes they did very well to make you like this cast. I think this cast was great.
They did.
And I think the characters were great, and they developed them very, very well. And I think they did some great work. I think Genesis was still criminally underdeveloped. Like they never really focused on her. All we know is she wants to be a captain. Why? Because her father's an admiral and she doesn't want to be like her father. And I'm like, wait, what? Like I needed more. I needed more from that. We had tons of development for Sam, for Caleb, for Darim, for Jaden. Like all of them had so much character development. And she had like virtually none. Like she had some, but like it was on the back of someone else's character development, if that makes sense.
Yes. Yeah. No, I mean, basically her biggest enemy is nepotism. That's
But I want to know who's her admiral father? Why is it like this? Why did she do this all the anyway? But I guess like this feeds into my other criticism. And again, this is not something that they can solve. And I don't think something that's ever going to be solved in the modern day of television, which is these short seasons, 10 episode seasons. Yeah. And I don't think we're ever going to see 24 episode seasons in anything ever again.
No, totally. 15 would be okay, but they needed some filler episodes to ingratiate with each other a bit more.
I just wanted to spend more time with the characters. I liked the characters. Yeah. I liked the characters. I liked the stories that they were telling, mostly. And I would have just liked to spend more time with them just to see, again, give Genesis some more time in the spotlight. Try some different pairings off again as well. Like, I would have just liked to see a little bit more. Occam, what again? Like he's got introduced. He joins the academy. He's going to be Tarima's brother.
Oh yeah, Tarima's brother. Yeah.
Where was he? Where was he? Like he's just. He's
That's a good point. That's a very good point.
Like literally, his character is like nothing. Maybe a bit of.
Also, not integrating because I thought that the whole thing making the War Academy and the Federation Academy becoming more friends.
Yeah.
But after that character died, we never saw the War College ever again.
We saw Krellick again, the Chancellor.
We saw him, but we didn't see the academy. We didn't see the
we saw Kyle because he's now with Jaden.
Oh yeah, he was going on holiday to Ibiza. Yeah. That's
apart from that, you're right. We've not really seen. Like I want to see the Romulan girl. She was great.
Yes.
She was great.
She was great, and also it would have been great to have her. Instead of being like angry the Vulcan guy died on the training thing. You said what it was called.
Miyazaki. Yeah.
I'm really bad at remembering all of the names of these things at the moment. Like I used to like remember all of this. But yeah, it would have been nice to see her be like, okay, I can trust you more now because we've all been through something together.
Or conversely, be even more angry and blame them. There's many ways they could have done it. And I feel some sort of, but again, I get it because they've got to focus on the cadets that we know, and they've got to focus on this story, and like they've got to keep it moving. That it means that we don't get as much as we used to. Like it used to be, you'd switch on Star Trek and you go, oh, this is a Tom Paris episode. Oh, this is a Kira episode. You know what I mean? Like, yes, the other crew would be in there, but they would be like, the main focus is this person and this person. And like, there's that episode where like Quark and Odo have to climb to the top of a mountain. Like, that's a great episode. Do you know what I mean? Like, and it's
like that would have been great. Yeah,
exactly. Little things like that. I don't know. So I think I would like to see more, but I just don't see that ever. And it's not a problem with Star Trek. It's a problem with the television landscape. Full stop. And I don't think it's even like Ted Lasso is 10 episodes. Do you know what I mean? Like sitcoms are getting 10 episodes, which feels like a nice segue into the other thing that we have watched, because we love Starfleet Academy's over. We need something new to watch, and luckily something new has come along, and 4 episodes in already. It's Scrubs, and I'm just going to say it out loud right now. It's perfect. It's exactly how it should be.
4 episodes in.
It's like they were never away.
It's like it never went away. I will say the 4th episode was the weakest of the new lot, but it didn't make it any less good. Like it can't be firing on all cylinders every single episode. Not even the original series did that.
Oh God, yeah, exactly.
So I'm okay with it because the first three were just so like, this is my God.
Scrubs.
It's great.
This is Scrubs. This is exactly what I wanted from it, and the humor of how that they are the older ones now, that they are now they are the Dr. Coxes, and they are the like brilliant. Loved it, absolutely loved that. And I initially I was a bit angry with the idea that JD and Elliot had divorced, but then I was like, no, that makes perfect sense. That makes perfect sense.
God, yeah, the will they, won't they, will they, won't they. That's what the entire premise of the original Scrubs was.
Exactly.
So the idea of also is just like not every ending is a happy ending. Like
it's life.
It's not. That's that. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the time frame of when they got divorced. It feels very recent.
Yeah.
Like very recent. So I don't know whether they're going to go into that. It feels like it happened maybe only like a couple of months before the beginning of this series.
Yeah, well, we will. I'm sure that they will sort of go into it more because this last episode, I thought they did a really good job of sort of going like, no, we need to start working well together and sort of getting over that hurdle. And I feel like there's going to be a more in-depth sort of like, so what went wrong? Where did we go wrong? Do you know, that type of thing? And like,
yeah, I do think they're probably going to try and bring them back together. I do think that's going.
Yeah, I think so, and I don't hate it, but I also think that it might be a bit of a cop out if they do.
Yes,
but then it's Scrubs, so it is sort of it's carrying on the.
Their relationship is the thing that kind of made Scrubs work. Like Scrubs was always at its best when it was the will they, won't they of those two.
Yeah.
When it was the long drawn out thing of like her with Dudemeister, like that went on a bit too long, and that she was going to marry him and all of that. It felt like that went on too long. I wonder if he's going to come back. That would be great if he comes back at some point. That he'd be a very good character. Sean, the dolphin guy. That'd be great to have him back.
It's interesting the characters that they've brought back. Hooch, like it's like I didn't expect him to be back. Like that was.
Oh, unfortunately, I'd been spoiled about that. He was when they announced that who was coming back. He was amongst he's going to be back and all of this. So I know of some others that are due to come back later in the series, which I won't mention because I don't want to spoil it for you.
I love that. Todd has been called out for his fives and just his general behavior.
But he's very respectful about it. He's not like he doesn't feel like he's being oppressed.
No.
He's like fully accepting of it.
He's demonstrating how you should act when you've been told that you've been wrong. Like he's showing growth, which I think is fantastic.
The beginning of episode 2 had me howling when it was JD getting the talk with the HR woman.
Yeah.
And then Todd comes in and they'd just done the whole thing with the marching band outside. So when he goes to say dong, but they go,
yeah.
Credits, I was like, that was such a perfect intro.
Yep.
I was howling at just the pace of it.
It's so
was
good.
Just perfect. It was like bang, 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 credits, relax. It was so good.
Does this not give you hope that season 4 of Ted Lasso is going to be perfectly fine?
Maybe. Maybe. I'm not scared about Ted Lasso. I'm cautiously optimistic. I have, I've been burned before.
Yeah.
But my worries about Ted Lasso is more to do with I'm gonna miss the dynamics of the team. Right. Of the original team. I'm gonna and that we're gonna be essentially it's a season 1. It's not season 4, it's a season 1.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now we're doing it with a completely different team. It's like if it wasn't Richmond and he was just going to a different team. It's
fair.
So that's what's I'm like, okay, how am I going to like the next dynamic? How am I going to like all of this? Um, and so that's my concern. Uh, this I was worried that the jokes just weren't going to be funny.
Yeah.
I was just worried that it was going to maybe steer too much into dad joke humor that didn't work, because Scrubs is dad joke humor in a lot of ways. It is that kind of thing. Like some of the new fantasies haven't always landed.
No.
Some of them absolutely have. Like the Feelings Police absolutely landed. The wrestling one absolutely landed. Some of the others maybe not so much, but like so it's not an absolute like 100% hit rate, but it has come out fighting. Like it's come out like swinging. Absolutely.
But as you said, it's Scrubs. Even the original show was not a 100% hit rate. So,
exactly.
So I think the important thing for me, and I know for you as well, is that it feels like Scrubs. It looks like Scrubs. It sounds like Scrubs. It's Scrubs. And I think obviously the worry with all of these reboots is that, will it come back? What are they going to change? Are they going to update it for modern day television? I mean, like, I get it. It's actually a genuine, like, I get that as people in the Star Trek community look at that and they go like, we just wanted TNG and Voyager again, or DS9 again. We didn't want Discovery. And I get that because it is very different. Star Trek has been sort of updated for modern day television. It's a different approach. Whereas this one, but again, it's a different type of show. Like,
I think the thing is like with Star Trek, I think what people wanted is what we've got with Scrubs, and they want a continuation.
Yeah.
And they tried to do that with Picard, and that's why Picard season 3 was so wonderful, because it was a continuation of that. People wanted what happened after Voyager got back, or what
exactly.
Space Nine. It didn't have to be about Voyager or Deep Space Nine, but it was like, okay, now that these things have happened, now we're going to follow a new crew after those events have happened and how they deal with the fallout with the rest of the galaxy. That's what people would have liked. They didn't want another prequel set after Enterprise, but before the original series. And again, there's a lot of like, okay, but this is what you need to know about where you are in this timeline. And now it's like, okay, now we're 800 years in the future from TNG. Like I get that that's not what people wanted. But what we've got with Scrubs is it's 16 years later, and it's 16 years later for them. And they haven't tried to reinvent the wheel like Star Trek did do. Like they're trying to make it all cool and a bit more sweary and a bit more gory and a bit more this. And it's like, no, you don't need to do that with Star Trek. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. And Scrubs hasn't tried to reinvent it. It is literally the same thing, but they're older. That is literally the only difference, is they're older.
Yeah.
That's it.
I do love as well that the very first scene made it out like it was going to be like widescreen HD, like proper serious, and then it went straight into the humor, and it was like, oh no, we're back in, and it's like, it pulled us right back to this is actually Scrubs. So no, great. But and so again, let's continue this talk about revivals.
Yes,
because there's been a few. Actually, there's one that we actually didn't discuss before it, and I do want to say, first of all,
no, you're upset, aren't you?
I am, but there was someone responded, and it is a very good point, and the chat about this as well. So, last year, Sarah Michelle Gellar announced that she was working on a Buffy sort of next season reboot,
a New Sunnydale,
New Sunnydale, with Chloe Zhao, who is known for the Eternals.
And the film that she just made, that woman got the best actress last night. Hamnet.
Yeah. So great, she's got the chops for doing this type of thing. But it's not Hulu haven't picked it up. And I'm very upset. I wish it had been picked up. But then, like, I guess what we don't know is the quality of the script. We don't know. Hulu would have looked at it and gone, is this worth, like, because ultimately the execs have to look at it and go like, is this worth the money to sink into it? Is there enough of a demand for it? And then is it going to be a case of, will this anger people or whatever? And so there's several things, like, so one, is there a demand for it? I think there is. I think everyone, like, Scrubs shown that there's demand for it. And I think
legacy sequels are fun.
Yeah, legacy sequels are fun. And I think Buffy has a very large, loyal fan base audience who have been waiting for years for something new. So I think that there would have been. Budget-wise, again, depending on what they do, again, it's set in the modern day. It doesn't require a huge budget to do, but then it depends on what the plans were. So it then comes down to sort of like, what were they worried about? And I think the main thing they're going to be worried about is they probably took a look at the scripts and the treatments and went, this is not going to be good enough.
There's another thing as well, though. If you're going to bring back lots of original characters, and the show's not going to work without certain original characters, and they won't get paid because they're like, well, if this isn't going to work without me, then,
Yeah,
if
but
if the actor who played, if they're going to, well, they can't bring back Spike. He died in the last episode, didn't he?
No, he came back an Angel.
Oh, of course he did. Of course he did. So yeah, okay then. So if you're going to get like all of them back, they're going to want to get paid because they know that it wouldn't, if they want to tell this exact story, they'll need that specific character.
Yeah. So I mean, like, the rumors were,
that's a big part of it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. And there's that, which then brings up this other reboot, which ironically is also a Joss Whedon piece. So,
I mean, that's another thing. Like, I know that this new thing, Firefly coming back as an animated show, is not going to include Joss Whedon. They've got his blessing.
Yeah. Well, neither the Buffy reboot, New Sunnydale, that didn't involve Joss either. Because
true,
he has been dropped.
He's never going to work in that town again.
No,
but the
and
thing
quite rightly so.
Quite rightly so. But if you're going to do Firefly or Buffy, he's going to get paid too.
Yeah.
And that's something that a lot of people are going to have to think about. It's the thing of like, oh, can you sit down and listen to a Gary Glitter song? Do you know what I mean? Like, could you separate the art from the artist, even if the art that you're watching is not made by that person, but you watching it means that person is going to get money?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, totally understand that. So yeah, no. So so Firefly is getting rebooted. Well, this is the thing. This is what we know, is that the cast is on board. The original cast is on board. They've got a story. They have a director and a producer
and an animation house.
And it's going to be an animation. It's going to be an animation, and it's going to be set in between the end of the series and the movie that happens. So that's how Washed is going to be there and everything like that.
Yeah.
So we know all of that, but the announcement was that they need a home. So they actually,
which is a surprise considering it's owned by Disney.
Yeah.
It has a home on Hulu or Disney Plus. It has a home. So Disney are not backing this.
Yeah. So this is this is going to be an interesting one to follow, I think, because it's been announced without actually being confirmed. Like, it's confirmed by Nathan Fillion, and like, yes, we're going to do this, but they might find that they get stopped, like they like, and not by lack of effort and not having the stuff in the right place, by just everywhere going like, nah, you're all right. We don't want to do this. Like the same thing that's happened to Buffy might very well happen to this Firefly reboot, or series, or whatever. What they're going to do. It's animation. Now, I actually think the animation is a smarter route to go down as well. It'll be cheaper. So budget wise, they can go like, hey, it's not going to cost you as much money. Also, like, Nathan Fillion's like, what, 54 now? like Adam
Oh, they're all
Ball.
pretty old. Like if
Yeah,
you see them in the videos, you're just like, wow, look at them all.
yeah. So it's like
Michael Baldwin looks dreadful.
Alec Baldwin.
Not Alec. No,
Yeah.
no, it's not Alec Baldwin. No, what's his name?
Oh,
It is
yeah, yeah.
Adam Baldwin. That's
Adam
his
Baldwin.
name.
Yeah, Adam. Yeah,
Adam Baldwin.
Adam
Yeah.
Baldwin. And so like it's going to be interesting to be like, okay, so if they were gonna they can't do a Scrubs where it's like this is 16 years later, blah blah. So yeah, animation all makes sense for it, but yeah, they could come across the same issue that the Buffy reboot has come on, where everything's in place. They've got the story, they've got the crew, they've got the cast, they've got the proposal, but they just cannot get the approval for it to be made.
Well, this is the thing. The announcement video was him saying, use this hashtag or click comment and like, and he's saying make some noise. Because again, that may be again part of the no one wants to see the Buffy thing.
Yep.
Because no one made enough noise when the announcement came. They went, "Oh, the chatter wasn't actually that excited about it." So they're making it to be like, "Please be excited about this," so that it drums up interest.
Yeah, 100%.
That's why they did that viral video where he visited every one of their trailers or front doors or all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. If only Sarah Michelle Gellar had done that with the game.
I mean, yeah,
that would have.
Or Anthony Head.
That would have been good. Anthony Head going around and being like, yeah, that would have.
I need to put a team back together and all of that. Yeah, I need to put together a team of warriors or whatever he called them.
So yeah. I mean, I'm gonna definitely gonna watch it with bated breath, but I'm also considering, as I said, considering the fate of the Buffy one, I am going to hold off on excitement until there is an official sign off from someone like Netflix or or Disney themselves that they're doing it.
Yeah. Well, I think we're all looking forward to potentially going back to watching some adventures with some outlaws in space, which I think brings us into the next.
It sounds like we practiced these segues, but I can guarantee that we did not.
Oh, look at us patting ourselves on the back over a segue.
I know. It's been so slick. This is the slickest we've ever been. If I hadn't called it out, no one would have known.
You can edit it out. It's no worries.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been playing. I've been playing. So it got ripped to shreds when it was released. Yeah. Which is Star Wars Outlaws. So it's available on Xbox Games Pass. So I thought, do you know what? I'll take a punt on it. Let's have a go. So I downloaded it. I found it on my computer and installed it and went, oh, yeah, I can see why people. It's glitchy.
No, glitchy. It's. I think it's too open world.
So conceptually, I love the idea.
Yeah.
I love the idea. I love the main character. I think she's great. I think there's something there. And I love the idea of like you work for your different factions and some will like you and some will hate you and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm like, this is a lot. It's a lot to take. And the problem is it's the problem with so recently I've been playing GTA 4.
Right.
Not GTA 5, which everyone's still playing, and we're waiting for GTA 6. And
GTA 4's the Eastern European dude, isn't it?
Yes. And it's a great game. It's a great game. And one of the reasons that it's great is that the world is packed. Like you can walk into there's like random places that are open, like shops and stuff like that, buildings you can go into. There's alleyways to explore, loads of NPCs. Like it feels alive. There's very few dead areas where you go and there's nothing there. And even if you do find somewhere there where there's nothing, you will find something there eventually. Like, there is something to find in that space, whereas like GTA 5 is very empty. Like, there's very big spaces. And I'm finding the same with Outlaws. It's like, you're here, now you have to travel 10 kilometers on your speeder to this location. And while you're doing it, you're just like, I'm just going along and da da da. And it's not like Red Dead Redemption, where it's like Red Dead Redemption was, again, very open world and you move through it. But Red Dead Redemption was beautiful. Like, it was beautiful that you wanted to take time in it and explore and everything like that. This, you're on a speeder. You don't really have time to, like, you're going along so fast that if there is anything of interest, you've gone past it already. You might miss it and stuff like that, which is a really interesting thing.
Yeah.
So it feels too open, too big, and it's very glitchy, and I get it. But then I found out the reason I glitched it is because I'd installed the game on my HDD rather than an SDD. So
okay, yeah.
Once I did that, it actually improved the game a lot. And it's like, I'm going to keep playing it because I just want to see where it goes and like how long I can tolerate it for. I don't think it's inherently bad as a game. I think like most of the mechanics are fine. I'm not massively wowed by it. I'm like, I feel like I should be wowed with it. I should feel like I should be going like, oh my God, I'm deeply immersed in the Star Wars universe. Instead, I'm like, this is kind of boring.
Yeah. Do you know what I would like them to do? I'd like them to remake a Star Wars game, but I mean, remake it like not exactly the way it was done. I think this is a game that would work as an open world game, and be really cool, be very Star Warsy. And that was Star Wars Bounty Hunter, where you play as Jango Fett.
Yeah.
That was a really good game for its time. And to be the bounty hunter with the jetpack, flying around, shooting people, scanning people to figure out if they've done any crimes and if you arresting them would get you like, some bounty and all of that sort of stuff. That in an open world game would be brilliant.
Well, you're thinking
you're absolutely brilliant.
You're thinking Spider-Man there, which is
but obviously different move sets. It's, I mean, you can
no. But what I'm saying is like
the Arkham games.
Or the Arkham games where you're literally you're going around and then you can come across a crime, you come across something that you need to do, and you can be like, is this bounty that's worth collecting and stuff like that? Yeah.
But no, you've got the moral things though, because if you're a bounty hunter, you're not just hunting criminals.
No.
You could be just like, oh well, this person actually has could be worth a ransom or something like that. You could have a morality thing of like, are you going to be good Django or bad Django? And all of that. And because it's, I also think people would like to play with a recognizable character, and the Mandalorian armor makes it very recognizable. And you've got a good time frame to do it from, because the whole concept with that bounty hunter game was eventually you get discovered by Dooku, who proposes the clone army suggestion to you and all of that. Like, that's a really cool concept for an open world game. So I just think as a remake concept, because now remakes are the thing, that is something that I think is right for, because I don't think Star Wars, if it's open world, it should be you travel from planet to planet, like Mass Effect kind of thing.
Agree. Yeah.
Same with Star Trek. Like the Voyager game, like that makes sense. You're stranded in another quadrant and it's about survival and all of that. That's a survival game.
Oh, I'm playing that as well, by the way.
How is it?
It's fine. It's fine. It's
fine. Yeah, that's a glowing review.
No. It's I'm enjoying it. Like, it's hard. It's hard. Like, because you have to. It's like I get it, Janeway. You had to murder Tuvix. I get it.
Yeah.
I get why. I get why. Like, it's a good game, and it's hard because you have to manage your resources so much more than I expected. And it's very easy to, and it's not just managing resources. You can be like, okay, I'm going to spend ages gathering these resources. Nope, wait, the crew hate you because we haven't started making our way any headway on the voyage on getting home. And it's like, oh, okay, so I need to do this quickly, and and you have to like make quick decisions, and it's actually, yeah, no, it's good. I actually quite like it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it. Yeah,
Great.
there we go.
That's everything.
Wait, are you telling me that's the end of the podcast?
No, we've got more things to talk about. Stop the music. No, I'm joking. You can start the music.
That is the end of the podcast. If you've stuck around this long, well done. Well done you. Well done you. Thank you very much for listening in. If you are using the audio version of this podcast, which I've finally been getting better at actually doing over the last 2. But if you have been listening audio-wise, thank you very much for listening in. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you very much. A couple of things you can do. If you are watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and give this video a like. And let us know what you thought of the Starfleet Academy finale, what you thought of the series overall. What's your grade for Starfleet Academy? And tell you what, here's a question. We've talked about Firefly, we talked about Buffy. Okay, what late 90s, early noughties nerd show, geek show would you like to see come back? Like what?
Why is it Farscape?
And why is it Farscape? Yeah, exactly. So what would be the one that you'd like to see back? If you are listening in on a podcast app, what to do is head over to Apple Podcasts specifically and leave a review. That'd be great. 5 stars would be lovely. It'll help us get more listeners. I think Spotify has the same thing as well, similar thing as well. So make sure you do that as well. But you know, if you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe wherever you're at. You can also follow Matt and I across various social media. Just search for our names. They'll probably be in the description somewhere, anywhere. But thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.